So look, I think it's important to say right off the top, the playoffs are not over for Toronto. I saw the jokes as soon as the Raptors lost that game last night. People were picking, Cavs in one. And we got all the same old Raptors takes too, which is true, and that Toronto snarfed a game it should have won. And a game one at home at that. Although there's an argument to be made that at least they found a creative new way to do it. I mean, it's not every team that can miss its last 12 shots of regulation. That takes dedication and consistency. But look, the Raptors still have the deeper, more balanced team. They still have plenty of ways to win this series. And if it does get to a game 7, that game will still be on their court. So there's all of that. But man, this was a bad loss. I mean, really, really bad. You know how we all said that after a grueling 7-game series against the Pacers, the Cavs would be flat and tired to open this next series? Guess what? They were! The Raptors went up double digits early, still led by as many as 13 in the third quarter, and LeBron in particular looked wiped. Remember when he said after Game 7 he was too burnt to even think about the Raptors? Well, last night it was entirely possible he was still too burnt to play against the Raptors. Yeah, he had a triple-double, but it was deceptive. He was 12 of 30 overall, 1 of 8 from 3, and he got worse, not better, as the game wore on. Just 3 of 15 in the fourth quarter and overtime. Of course, it's LeBron, so those 3 makes were very timely, particularly this turnaround fadeaway with 30 left. That tied the game, and yet, here is Toronto with a chance to pull back ahead. Fred VanVleet's 3. Oh, wait, no. How about the tip-in from DeRozan? No? Well, then how about C.J. Miles? No? Well, how about Jonas Valanciunas? Seriously? You have got to be kidding me. Valanciunas falls to the floor there like he's been shot, and frankly, that did not seem like an overreaction at that point.
It looked like he was
LeBron
shot.
tried the regulation game winner. Again, he was tired, so accordingly, the shot fell just a few inches short. But at that point, didn't really matter. You could feel the wave of resignation cascading through the Air Canada Centre. And by the time the Cavaliers won in OT, yes, thanks to yet another Toronto miss just before the buzzer, the look on Kyle Lowry's face said it all. The Raptors will now spend the next 2 days thinking about all those missed bunnies. They will think about their 14 turnovers, and that while Indiana managed to make the players around LeBron nearly invisible, Toronto somehow unleashed them. I mean, J.R. Smith had 20. Oh, and the Raptors will also think about this, that at the very end of the night, LeBron sat up on the podium in their press room, in their arena, and said, quote, "It was probably, one of my worst games of the season. The man might be off social media right now, but he sure still knows how to troll." That was basically him telling the Raptors, I could barely lift my arms tonight, but somehow I did still manage to squeeze the very life out of your hearts as they were still beating. It's interesting now. We'll see how Toronto responds, because again, the Raptors still a very, very good team. Are they good enough to overcome this very bad game? Well, we'll see. So Byron, what was the bigger headline for you? The Raptors collapse or those gritty Cavs came back?
The Raptors collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the fact that they have them down in double digits, in that third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, they still had a comfortable lead. And I thought, just watching this game, that you can just look at them bringing the ball up, looking at the clock like, please run out, please run out. They wasn't playing to win the game. They were playing not to lose. And when you play like that against a LeBron James-type team, with that man on the floor, it spells disaster, and that's what ended up happening for Toronto. They got to keep playing aggressive basketball. When they have an opportunity to push the ball, they got to push it. And when they have an opportunity to attack, they got to attack. I thought all those things went away for them, and all of a sudden, they were waiting for the clock to run down. They got to 5, 6, 7. Now they're trying to, make a play. That's not how you play against this team. You got to get them moving from side to side and also just stay aggressive. I thought the Cleveland curse of losing to them in so many playoff rounds start to get in their heads a little bit, and it caught up to them. Now, hopefully we see a different team in the second game, because right now, if they lose game 2, it's over.
Yeah. Wow. Coach is right. You got to make them defend.
Yeah.
You got to make them, and we know they're not good at that. Right. You got to make them move around and have to switch and have to communicate and all the things that they're not used to doing because they didn't do it all year long. But I'm telling you, Jonas Valanciunas channeling his inner Charles Smith. That hurt my feelings, right? Because I'm like, just gather and dunk the damn thing.
Thank you. You're 7-2.
Like, you know who does a great job of this, by the way? Rudy Gobert does a great job of this.
Yes.
When he gathers, he'll pivot and then go up strong and finish it with two hands. And the fact that he did this on multiple possessions, it just hurt my heart. Look at this right here. We're talking about 14-year-old Amin right now saying, just dunk it. What are you doing?
3.
What are you doing? Oh, my God. Oh, man. That's what I felt like watching Jonas Valanciunas last night. And I don't want to put it all on him because, like Coach said, they had the lead and they stopped playing. But you can't play scared, and that, to me, is playing scared.
Okay, I'm going to give a little credit to the Cavaliers here, saying this was not just all Toronto messing up. That the Cavaliers, look, Tristan did defend him, right, in that sequence we just saw. And you mentioned the rotating, which is completely fair. The Cavs defense has been not good this season. But at the end, they actually did rotate correctly on defense.
Look at that. That was a wide open shot.
No, that's a wide open shot.
Here's what I was going to say. They got the ball out of DeMar's hands twice.
Right.
In the last few minutes, there were 2 different times that they actually played the correct. I was shocked. I actually had to rewind it back on my DVR for a minute. I was like, wait, did they actually just do what they were supposed to do to limit the shot from the sharpshooter on the other team?
Yeah.
They did it. Now, that leads to an open shot for someone else, but that's all about, as you know, structuring it so the guy who shouldn't take the shot takes the shot, and then he missed the shot.
But I give you credit for that. I agree with you on that point. But they still didn't make them work on the defensive end. It wasn't like 2-3 passes,
no, and twice
get the rotation, look to drive, now kick it out where you get open shot. It was bounce, 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 bounce. I'm going to try to beat you. All right, help comes a little bit. No, you can't play that way against Cleveland. You got to get them moving side to side, put them in the pick and rolls, look to attack, roll, somebody replace. Now they got to make decisions, which they're not good on the defensive end of doing.
Yes.
Then you get wide open shots.
And they did that earlier in the game.
The first 3 quarters.
Anunoby going back, going dunk, all those plays. That's what we're talking about. That's the level of stress you need to put on their defense.